Hi, today I'm going to show you how to build your own ChatGPT or the backend of ChatGPT with Python, RunPod, and Llama, the meta model that basically rivals OpenAI's models. It is open source, you can fully fine-tune or customize it, and it allows you to basically create fantastic experiences that you can self-host, that you can do your own private things without anyone knowing what you're doing, and basically on your own GPUs. So let's get started. First, we're going to go to runpod.io, which is the GPU provider. RunPod is actually one of the best ones that I've ever worked with. They provide just very easy instances to spin up, spin down. They provide serverless features, so definitely recommended it. They're also very, very inexpensive, at least comparatively. So if we click on get started, you are able to create your own account. I already have one, so I'm going to go with sign in. Wonderful. Once we're signed in, we can actually see the usage that we've had, and we can see the current balance. GPUs are still quite expensive, so we have to we have to be quite careful with monitoring our spend or shutting down instances if we don't want them anymore. I forgot several times, so just make sure you have proper limits in place, and you always shut down your instances. Next, we're going to go to billing, and you can very easily just top up your balance. The lowest balance is, or the lowest top up is $10. So you should be able to just play around with it fairly easily. Perfect. So next we're going to go to pods. In the pod section, this is where it gets a bit more tricky to actually properly determine which GPU you need. Definitely look into the VRAM guide from RunPod. Just Google RunPod VRAM guide and you should be able to find it. I think generally for the bigger ones, just type in the model name you want to run and then look at the VRAM requirement. We are going to go with the L40S, which is a very, very good instance to just play around with larger models or medium-sized models. And yes, let's get started. So we're going to click on L40S. We're going to go with Chatbot, and we are going to go with a template. You will probably start with RunPod PyTorch 2.1. We are actually going to switch to vLLM, which is a deployment framework which allows you to very simply deploy chat models or large language models into production environments. They handle batching, they handle a lot of load. So if you want to scale, if you want to have something very easily run things, this is definitely the library to run things with. So we're going to select vLLM latest. Now, the next thing that is very important is we have to actually edit the template. So firstly, we're going to look. This is the key part. This is perfectly fine. But if you want to run a different model other than Llama 3.1, 8 billion, you have to change it. This is the Hugging Face name. So just the Hugging Face username and or the organization name, and then the model name. Next, very important, is the API key. Either change it or leave it. This seems to be a constant. So in all new things, on all new templates, this is going to be the default. So make sure to change it. It's definitely best practice. And container disk and volume disk, you can probably leave it as they are. I always like to increase them to maybe 100 gigabytes. The space is not that expensive, so it's perfectly fine to do so, but it's also perfectly fine to leave it as is. So for now, we can leave these things. We're going to just set overrides to change things a bit. And then we're actually going to go to, on demand is selected. Wonderful. Also, one more thing, if you want to save some money, you can actually go from secure cloud to community cloud. That will save you some money, but it has less, it might be a bit more unstable. It might have a bit of a less secure environment. So we're going to just go with secure cloud, but I think for anything other than like production loads, community cloud is perfectly fine. Wonderful. So next we're just going to confirm the L40S, the RAM, and the VRAM. Once that is confirmed, we're going to click on deploy on demand, and the instance will start to spin up. That should only take maybe a minute. And once that is done, we can actually see that the connection is still loading. If we click on logs, the logs should start to appear quite soon. Yes, and we can see it working. So what happens is the container spun up, and it is starting to get the Docker image. It is starting to also download the model. Yeah, we can actually see the model is pretty big. I think the model right now is probably around 20 gigabytes. I might be wrong, but might also be less. But anyway, so that being said, but it should actually be more the 20 gigabyte range. Anyway, so once these things are done, we should be able to, okay, I think we have to wait a bit more. Another important thing, always make sure to like check the prices so that you really know what you're paying. And once the downloading is done, which probably will take another 20 seconds, we can actually click on connect and either spin up a Jupyter Notebook instance, which allows us to directly interface with the model, do fine-tuning and a lot of other things, or we can actually use the API that already automatically gets deployed with vLLM, and that allows us to directly hook into the RunPod API and this specific model. The cool thing with that is that we are able to directly use this model with the OpenAI SDK. So OpenAI SDK right now is basically the prime standards. Almost every model is compatible with it, and that allows us to just very easily change models, change providers, or use this. And it looks like we are pretty much done. So the connect button should become available quite soon. Also interesting, you can stop a pod that basically pauses the main payment, and then you can destroy it if you click on the follow-up button. Perfect. So we can see everything seems to be deployed. We can click on connect now, and we should be seeing that the HTTP service is still spinning up, and this is exactly what we need. So what we're going to do next is we're going to click on this. We see that this can't be found, but we're going to copy the link, and then we have to actually add a /v1. We're going to copy it, and once that is copied, we can close this window, and we're going to head over to Python. Okay, quick update. I have just found out that the model crashed. This might be for various reasons. I think this is related to Llama requiring that we actually authenticate on Hugging Face, which even it says unauthorized for URL. So we actually have to authenticate with them. You have to log into Hugging Face, which is a bit more of a thing to do. So we're just going to switch the template, which is going to be very easy to do. And I think it also provides you with the ability to deal with those errors yourself. So firstly, this is the template. We can see that it does not work correctly. If we click on connect, even though it says it is ready, it is not running. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop the pod and we're going to terminate it. Wonderful. So what we're going to do then is we are going to go to the pods again. We're going to click on L40S. We're going to change the template, and we're going to go to vLLM. And instead of latest, we are actually going to go with another model, which is already set. We're going to go with Mistral Instruct 7B. This is not by Meta. They do not have the same requirements. To be very frank, it is very easy to authenticate. It's not that big of a deal, but just for the sake of simplicity, we're going to use this. So, and then the exact same thing, we're just going to deploy it. Once this is done, this should work perfectly fine now. Once this is done, we will actually see this in pods. I've already deployed it. If we open it, we should see that the GPU is used, that the volume is used, and that we can actually connect to it. If we see this thing ready, we're going to click on it, and then we actually see finally an output that we want to see, which is that it has not found this specific thing. Then we're going to add a /v1. This is actually required. It's not super apparent, but this is the API structure, or the base URL structure. And let's jump into the Python code, which is going to be very simple. And I'm going to show you how you can connect with the OpenAI SDK to this specific instance. So next we're going to connect to the vLLM server, or the model that we're running via Python. So we're going to open an empty project, ideally in VS Code, but feel free to use whatever code editor you like. Then we're actually going to create a virtual environment. We're going to do that with Python 3/mvenv.venv. The dot actually makes the folder invisible for seeing things in a normal folder setting. So this is quite convenient. But we do see it in VS Code. Next, we're going to activate the virtual environment. We do this to keep the dependencies of Python separated per project. We're going to use source, which is the Mac command. You definitely have to look up the Windows one if you don't already know it. We're going to use source. We're going to use .venv/bin/activate, and we should see the change here. We're going to clear the terminal output, and we've got it active. So then we have to install Python 3/pip3/install OpenAI, which installs the OpenAI SDK. With that being done, we can move on to the code. So firstly, this is the very basic file. This is the only thing you need to actually connect with a model and run it. And the only thing we need is, if you have set an OpenAI API key, you can input it here. This is the API key that was visible in the template settings. Very important, don't get confused with the OpenAI API key or OpenAI API base. That is just a naming convention. This has nothing to do with OpenAI. This is not using the OpenAI model. This is just using the OpenAI SDK. So don't get confused by that. That being said, for this specific one, for the template that we selected, there is none. There is no OpenAI SDK. For the first one that you saw, there is one. So we're just going to leave it empty for now. The API base model, the API base URL, this is the /v1 URL that you saw. So we have to actually get it and input it here. So that is going to be this /v1. And then we also need to get the model name, which is very important. And that is also usually in the settings of the of this specific container. If you haven't seen that in a while, or you don't know how to find it, just go back to the pods and click on a little click on the little button next to stop on the left, click on edit pod, and then you're able to see it again. While that is being done, you can also just, and then you just input the model name basically. Wonderful. So then we've got the prompt, and we are going to print the result. So let's see if this works. We're just going to type in Python 3 and chat PI, not PY, and it should print a 3-sentence bedtime story about a unicorn. Wonderful. Perfect. So you have set up a ChatGPT-like instance on RunPod. You can connect it via Python, and you can basically do your own completions. You can fine-tune your own model, upload it to Hugging Face, and then just use it via vLLM. This is very much production ready. So feel free to use this as you like. And I think this is a very, very good base for starting a business, or to use this in your own research, to use it in your own projects. I think the potential is limitless. So the only thing I'm going to leave you with is definitely make sure to finish and terminate the instance. Otherwise, you're going to incur cost, which you do not want to have. So it was a pleasure, and see you again next time.